Well, hi everybody. Going into episode 11, let's start off with reviewing what we've accomplished so far. If you recall, we had a significant leak in the pond dike. The water had scoured through the dike and over the years caused a lot of damage, and if not taken care of, would probably cause total failure of the dike over time. We excavated the area and discovered the existing overflow pipe was made of metal. It deteriorated away and let the water damage the dike. I thought the solution was excavate the pipe, replace it with plastic pipe, and everything would be just fine. Well, let's stop there for a minute. I had a couple of excavators approach me after I did the work and say when I dug that out, I should have made sure the exit pipe was at least 4 feet below the water line for frost concerns here in Iowa. The pond leaks before the frost and freeze season moves in, so I don't know if that's accurate or not. We'll have to see. The second idea was to do a seep collar around the pipe. What I'm trying to show there is I should have poured about a yard of cement around that pipe. That's a plan view looking down. I should have filled that with cement. I had one contractor tell me that he's not had a pond leak after he does that. Now that takes us to today. Here we are on the back side of the dike and it leaks. So after all that work of installing that pipe, here's the leak I have. I really think the water is following the horizontal pipe, meets the vertical pipe, and it's finding its way out the back side of that. Well, for grins, I got a plastic measuring cup with quantities on it. And I caught the best I could, this is not scientific, and quickly grabbed about 8 ounces of water.
That's 10 seconds.
In 10 seconds. So doing the math, that's about 23 gallons an hour coming out of that leak.
So now we're at the supply. Okay, and start.
Same test here. How much water can I grab in 10 seconds? And let's see what the inbound water is.
There's 8 ounces.
In 5 seconds.
Okay, 8 ounces in 5 seconds, so I doubled it. So I got 45 gallons coming inbound.
Okay, so here we go.
So I went to the new exit pipe, did the same test there, and found out I've got 45 gallons an hour leaving the pond, equaling what's coming inbound. So I went online and I started looking for solutions and found this product.
To seal soil seepage without draining the pond. I've done a lot of work on the pond, so let's go try it out and I'll explain how it's going to work.
Well, here's the product. Came in a couple of boxes. And one part is labeled here. Here it is, part A. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Yeah, 2-part product cast out by hand or applied with a handheld crank spreader applicator. Part A is applied first, followed immediately by part B. Then this must be part B. Yep. So no instructions on it. It's probably obvious. Feels like a bag of sugar. This one's paper, and this one's a poly bag. It's interesting. Okay, well, let's go down to the pond and see what we can do.
So I wanted to take a moment and remind you, this is what it looked like when the project was done, a horizontal pipe. I put a 90-degree elbow and I've raised the pond water level about 15 to 17 inches with the addition of that elbow.
Okay, I don't know if you can see the instructions or not, but it says, do not apply in wind or rain. We have neither. Wear protective eye protection and dust mask. It's so fine we're going to wear dust masks today. And this is part A. And the next bag is part B, and it's labeled 55 pounds. Looks like the same safety directions. So it's like sand, sugar consistency. So it's supposed to be 2 ounces to 11 square feet. There's 2 ounces. So 2 ounces, and looks like dry, it's about 4 ounces, so just for a reference. So taking the ratio of 2 ounces to 11 square feet, we want to go out 5 feet. We've rounded it down to 10, so we'll be a little heavy. We're going to go an ounce to a foot. So that's 30 feet between the two marker posts. 30 feet, an ounce, that'd be 30 ounces. So we're going to put 30 ounces along here, 5 feet out. So we're putting part A in one bag, and then we're going to put part B in another bag because the directions say to put it on immediately behind part A. So it doesn't look like very much at 55 pounds. It said do not under apply it. So we're going to err on the heavy side and put it on heavy. I've taken a couple of orange markers here and marked 30 feet. So from the opening up there to this is 30 feet. It was hard to get out 5 feet. And this stuff does get all over your pants and clothes, so I would suggest wearing gloves, long pants, and breathing protection.
It didn't take too long and I gave up the hand crank idea. It just wasn't very efficient. There was a suggestion in there to spread it like you're feeding the chickens, and you can see I feed my chickens pretty well. So that seemed to work pretty good, just broadcasting it out by hand. It felt like we were making a lot more progress.
Pumping it out like you're feeding the chickens works pretty good. And we're putting heavy along the shoreline. But I don't know if you can see it. The film, there it is. I think you can see the film on top of the water. The winds are out of the north, but not 1 or 2. That's all. So we're going to continue to put it on the bank here, the dike, pretty heavy, and then we're going to put our B on it right behind it. Well, we put part B on. The winds got dead calm now, so it's perfect conditions. When we put part B on, the water cleared up where it came in contact with part A, it seems. You can kind of see the one part of it sitting out there on top of the water. So I used 25 pounds along 150 feet. So I'm going to go ahead, since I have some left over, and do this side. Thinking there might be some leaks there, who knows, especially around that tree. So we'll use it all up. I've said to be calm for 4 days. The weather forecast doesn't have any rains. I think we're going to be just fine. So we'll check back in 4 days and see if that water flow's slowed up.
Isn't this interesting? When the part B is put on top of the part A, it gets pulled down like you've pulled the drain on a tub. The product is getting pulled downward, and I thought at this point we have found the source of the leaks. Watch as it's pulled down. This was the only area of the pond that I saw this reaction. I wanted to show you a close-up of the bank where some of this product, where I could reach into it. This is why I said be sure and rinse your clothes off or blow your clothes off first. Don't put them in your washing machine, because that's what you'll end up with right there. A real gooey, slimy product. Very slippery. You have to be very careful. It's as slippery as ice.
The conditions have been perfect this week. The product was put on Saturday. It's Thursday night. We haven't had any rain all week. The winds have been calm. 60 degrees at night, low 70s during the day. This has to be ideal conditions to try and seal this leak this way using this product. So now I'm on the back side of the dike, of course. This is the leak that's been giving me problems.
All right, so after 5 days, let's stop the video. It's really slowed up. Here it is before, and I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison. There it is on the right side before and the left side after. Pretty happy. However,
well, it's been 14 days since we used the Soilfloc. And while we pumped some water out of the pond to water the area, it's come back up real nice. You can see the inlet starting to take water again. But I still have the leak. I'm going to show you that next.
well, after 14 days, the leak has more volume coming through it every day, and this doesn't seem to be working very well for us.
Since we put it in, it has not rained one day. It's been calm. You can see by the leaves there's no indication of a draw. What's puzzling to me is the water runs here to the outlet, but as I walk around the pond, why don't I see some kind of indication of like a drain plug being pulled, some kind of draw like we saw on the first day when it pulled the chemical, the Soilfloc down quickly. I'm not saying the Soilfloc didn't work, but after 14 days, I still have a leak. So I ordered another company's product, and that should be here soon, and we're going to try that. Here's the product we're going to be using. It's from Soilfloc Industries. This has been an outstanding company to work with. They've been responsive to my emails. I think there's a little more than a 12-hour time difference, so if I send something out in the day, I get it overnight. And they've always been responsive and answered my questions. So customer service, these guys are very good.
Well, that's going to end today's episode. Please join me for episode 12 as we try Damn It Pond Sealer. Thanks, everybody.